After 10 years of sending money, tell me exactly what do you come out with? Your mother's cooking is always the best. In my instance, my wife is cooking is always the best. Some of you might argue and say, oh well, we've come to Europe, we've come to wherever we've gone diaspora, we don't intend to go back. I'm telling you, one way or the other, your destination, it will be still in your village where you come from. Welcome to Rise With Us podcast. My name is Tendai Madume. I'm excited to be here. You understand? I feel good. I feel an honor to be here talking to you guys on this particular podcast that we are marching on as together. I've had a very good response. Last week I talked to Mr. David Fenduno. Please see the video on our channel, Rise With Us podcast on YouTube. Also have a chance, please, if you can, to follow and subscribe so we can carry on giving you this content that we are channeling towards our motherland. The conversation that we don't really get to speak about a lot. For now, I am taking this challenge to try and understand and hear from as many people as I can. Please look forward to what's coming up on this channel. It'll be very, 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 very interesting. So follow us on our TikTok page as well, on Facebook page, and also our YouTube channel will be live on there. Africans in the diaspora, I'm back with you again. Last week we talked about how much money you were sending back home year after year. You are sending billions of money back home, but we are not building wealth. That's my worry. This is not about looking after the families. It's not about thinking about others. It's also about what is our future looks like as Africans. So this week I'm going to talk about that. After 10 years of sending money, tell me exactly what do you come out with? Yes, you might come up with a couple of people who are still alive because you've helped them with their hospital bills. Yes, you might come up with people who have graduated because you've helped them with their school fees. Yes, you might come up with a happy uncle, happy mother, happy stepfather. Yes, but what's in it for you? You have to understand, mainly if you are in a diaspora, it's never your home. You know what they say is home is best. I want you to understand that we are never home when we are away from home. Your mother's cooking is always the best. In my instance, my wife is cooking is always the best. So I'm going to talk about that with you guys. Some of us have funded some lifestyles for years. We have helped a cousin that asked for 20, asked for 10, an uncle that asked for 50. That's sponsoring the lifestyle. For many years we have done this as diasporans, but we have built nothing. I'm talking to you. If you have not yet built anything that is in your name, I'm talking to you. Some of you might argue and say, oh well, we've come to Europe, we've come to wherever we've gone diaspora, we don't intend to go back. I'm telling you, one way or the other, your destination, it will be still in your village where you come from. There will be at least court cases between your kids, your parents, your wife, or your husband, where you'll be laid to rest when the time comes to go back to the dust where we come from. That's important. I want you to remember that. I understand the family expectations. As soon as you just get to the airport and they are aware that you are leaving, before you even landed, it comes with the pressure of looking after the other ones that are still behind. it comes with that pressure. I understand. Also, some of us as Africans, we are very cultured people. That means we're always going to think about what does our culture say. And our culture always relies on helping each other. The spirit of Ubuntu, supporting each other, helping each other. You are abroad, so you must help everybody. That narrative alone must change. Also, something that is really getting into our people in the diaspora right now that many people don't talk about is the flamboyant and the pressure that comes of looking successful. I'm telling you, there are people here who are struggling. There are people here who are living in the street. There are people here on food banks. There are people here who are on food banks. And I'm not talking about the Europeans. I'm talking about our native Africans that are here in some of these places. The moment many of you arrives in UK or America or Europe, they stop becoming individuals. You stop thinking about yourself because you have arrived in Europe. They become financial solutions. It's a big one. Let me say that again. The moment many Africans arrive in UK, Europe, Asia, South Africa, whatever it is you go abroad, you stop to become individual. You become a we. That means you are now looking after everyone else you have left behind. That means you become a financial solution. When your brother can't meet his rent in Lagos and Harare, you are now chipping in. If someone got ill in the village down in Port Harcourt, in the Usapi, you are not chipping for medical bills. Someone dies in Congo, Kinshasa, or in Burundi, you are now the one looking for the funeral contributions. Constant request is coming from Africa to help. The word help is overused mainly when you are in Europe, when you are abroad, because the assumption is you are doing well. And in the episode I spoke to David Findono, please listen to it. He explained the challenges many people face when they arrive here in abroad. It's not easy to be abroad, so let's not take it very lightly. There's so many challenges that comes with it. The challenges that I cannot tell you right now on this channel, but I'm sure if you speak to them deeply, you understand what exactly I am talking about. But listen, help without structure destroys your future. Listen to my words. Help without structure destroys your future. That means constantly giving, and you forget you also exist. Compassionate without strategy becomes a self-destruction. Feeling sorry for others without strategy becomes a self-destruction. So you're not helping. Like, for example, if someone asks you for something and you clearly can afford to give, you clearly cannot help, but you feel the need to help, you feel like you should help, you feel like you must help, suddenly you are giving all you have and you start again. Oh, my diasporan people. I just want to dig into why most of us get stuck. And there's plenty of us who are stuck in this diaspora movement. Stuck in one position. Stuck in one mindset. You get a new job or an extra job to cover the gap. The more you are working, the more the demands and the requests are becoming higher. That means you are also constantly. It's like a man who has won a lottery, and then he goes, let's say £1 million lottery, and then he goes and buy a house worth 500,000, and then he needs insurance of 100,000. Before even a month is finished, 1 million is over. Self-destruction, self-sabotage. And that's what many of diasporans are doing. We are acquiring extra jobs. And I've seen some comments in so many comment sections in TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. People who are still in Africa mocking the ones who are in diaspora for working extra hours, extra shifts. Let me tell you one other thing that is also killing us as diasporans. When we came here, we want to look good. We want to perceived that things are good. We never give a true picture of our struggle. Let me tell you, I did struggle. If you get a chance to speak to my wife, she can tell you that it was not easy. We had to fight through thick and thins. When you are in Africa and people are living in a house that has mice, people laugh at you. If I tell you I lived in a house in Europe when there was mice, in Europe, you start to normalize these things here when life gets tough, things get going. We have a culture of salary lifestyle, car payments. There's no need. There's no point of you paying a £500 car every month because this you can get it. You can get it. The system here allows you to borrow, and borrowing sometimes can be a very good thing to those who are smart and those who use that borrowing as a smart move. People are borrowing for wrong moves, borrowing for flamboyant life, borrowing for pretending life. That's where it gets a bit difficult for our colleagues. Now, all these things are facing a diaspora. Sending money back home, designer culture, which we have. We know how many black people we like designers. Sometimes you can walk to a billionaire next to you in a bus who happen to be white and you cannot tell he's a billionaire. But walk with a brother who's got some few pennies, you can tell this guy is doing all right in life because he makes sure that you see it's our culture. I'm not putting it down by any chance. I understand, and it's okay. Make sure it's balanced. Make sure you're also, my last point in this conversation, you are invested. Invested means you are putting money somewhere where in the future you be able to reach it. Some people abroad earn good money, but if they lose their job tomorrow, they have nothing. That's the truth. So many people are making good bucks in diaspora. They're making a good living. 600, 800 pounds a week, 900 pounds a week. Of course, working so many hours, but it's money still. Multiply that by four times. It's a good salary. But if they lose that job tomorrow, they are nothing. They can't even contemplate to get into a plane and go home and start afresh in a place they've been building for the past 10 years. I'm sure now you catch my drift. Let me tell you something right now. If you've been abroad for 5 years to 10 years, what assets have you built? An asset is something that is very stationary, but it's valuable. I'm talking about someone who has built. You can build a house, and that house can be worth, let's say, 100,000. In 5 years' time, it will be worth 150. So you can still sell that house, and you have 150 to start with when things get going. When you are being kicked out of the very same country you feel comfortable with. You are surviving beautiful, but you're still surviving. That's not living. I'm going to talk to you about the difference. Why am I so interested in this? I've mentioned this last time. I said, when the white people descend in our continent, Africa, they didn't start collecting Jordans, collecting designer shirts, designer bags. They went and hit where they hit most, on the land, because they know the value of the land. So we can receive as much salary as we like. We can earn as much money as we like. If that money is not turned into an investment, it's nothing. Valueless. Paper money. The difference between sending money home and building wealth is my next chapter. I'm not discouraging people from sending or helping people back home. That's not the point of this conversation. You must, if you can, help those who need help. But remember, we have come on this earth very individual, and we are also going to leave this earth very individual. Neither even the closest will come with you. They will all just shed a tear, and life will go on again. Sending money home, listen, it's not a very good thing, I'm telling you right now. It's like what they say in the Bible. You give a man a fish, or you give him a rod to go and fish for himself. My wife might say that's not what the Bible says, but you get the drift. Sending money home is only for temporal relief. You send money this month, they will need another money next month, and another next month, and another next month. Before you know it, the year is finished, and you've sent the money back home every year. It becomes a consumption, dependency cycle. They will rely on you until the day you get poor, until the day you die. Dependence. What am I saying now in difference? What am I saying diasporans should do? I'm saying diasporans must build wealth. And how am I saying that? By doing what? They should build wealth by doing what exactly? I'm talking about them owning assets back home. Talk to your colleagues who are back home, who are still on the ground. Have a chance. The money you are saving, take a flight, go back to your village and see what you can do. We can now open private hospitals, private clinics, private stadiums, we can now open anything, private malls, private schools. All these things are available to be opened the same way the missionary people did it back in the days when the colonial was taking place, building schools. We can now build schools as diasporans. Let's own the development of Africa. Let's own it. We cannot talk about having assets in Africa if you don't build a system that also allows us to thrive in our motherland. We need to have systems that work. That means we need to have a conversation with our government, conversations with our leaders in our community, conversation with our head leaders in our communities that are systematic, without fear or favor. Some of the things that are killing our continent is corruption. For you to get something, you have to go through someone, and that someone needs something. When I mean something, I mean money, for them to approve your application, or for them to take you in, or for them to help you out in a position that's going to help many people. Let's eradicate such systems. Let's build a very straightforward system. If you are above speed limit, you are above speed limit. You get charged. You get points on your driving license. Straightforward systems. We cannot also just go there and do all this. We need income generation. Let's go and open factories. But for us to be able to do that, I urge the leaders, I urge the governments of our continent, to work with us, the diasporans, help us to invest in our continent. I'm not asking you to make things easier. I'm just asking you to make things fair. If I have it, let me invest. There's so many stories I hear that people who are also willing, big boys, big money, they rather invest in a country, a neighboring country, because their own country, you have to go through 10 people for you to get a tender to supply medication, tender to build a bridge, tender to construct a road. Small things like that. Let's have a system. If human beings naturally as black people, we can't be transparent and be honest, let's build robots that select these tenders. Then we know this is fair. Let's build things that have a long impact. As Africans, we seem to want quick money. That's why our economy is a quick economy. We have more hustlers than entrepreneurs in Africa. If you listen to the Africans speaking, they never spoke themselves as entrepreneurs. They speak themselves as hustlers. And hustler, that means quick money. The money that comes and goes. Quick money, I'll make quick money. What about the long term? What about the generations to come? That can only be done if we build the systems that make a long-term plan, long-term impact to the people of your community. What am I saying, really? Talking about investment, don't send the money home, don't do this, it's nothing without really give you a true example. All I'm saying is, instead of sending 200 pounds or US dollars to Africa every month, what if the very same people you are helping by giving them 200 bucks, why not fund them $200 every month, but on conditions that is only going to a project? Now, here's the issue now. Who owns the project? So if you are empowering your family, so they can depend on themselves, so it can relieve you some money, this project will be for them. Build their project first before you build yours. Empower them. Give them something. I'm aware there's people you give and they never deliver. Then the question is, why you keep on helping them if they can't help themselves? Remember, the day you die or the day you get deported for any reason, they won't be able to help you. But if you empower them and invest in them to achieve, by the time you return, they might, I'm using a very big word here, they might be able also to give you something in return. Now, there's so many projects out there. It can be a poetry project, solar business, land purchase, rental for rooms, farming in general. Farming is becoming very popular in Africa right now, across Africa. Farming is becoming very popular to Africans, something that was not even in our radar when I was growing up. They made farming look like it's punishment. Every time I'm late to school or I've done something at school, my punishment was to go to the garden. And that was a punishment. So it made me hate farming. Until now, I realize that was a con. Farming is a way to go. There's money in the soil. That's why our friends went and grabbed the land first. It's the first thing they did, was to grab the land. So why not take the opportunity to put money aside every month to sponsor either one person in your family? It could be your mom, the very same mom you're sending money home, your dad. Make them do projects. And then you realize in 6 months' time, 8 months' time, you won't be sending them money anymore because they'll be self-sustainable. Then you can now start to save and build your future. Listen, I have told my people, This time is my time, and I'm not even retreating from that. I am building what is for me and my family. Something that I know one day, if God permits, I'll walk in and say, I built this. This is mine. And I'm back. Because I've spent too much time, enough time, helping others. I also need to help myself. That's where I am right now. Those who follow me can testify. The goal is not to become useful for emergencies. The goal is to become a builder of a system. Don't be just available when people need you. Build a system that people need. There's a difference there. Now, I've spoken about this last month as well, last episode. Diasporans, let me speak to you right now. Why is it that there's a fear in investing back home? I mean, I'm going to reference again. Please watch David Venduno's conversation with myself, which I'm going to upload this week. It's very interesting. It's fascinating. The guy illustrated most of the things that I'm talking about here. Why people fear to invest back home. I've already touched about this. The biggest one is corruption. You know, corruption is like cancer. Until now, I don't believe there's no solution to cancer. But I believe there's enough money in cancer that those who hold the cards to solve the problems are benefiting from the cancer problem, which is happening across the world. Same thing is corruption. We have talked about corruption for so many years. And if you talk about corruption in Burundi, it's the same thing in Mozambique. Same thing in Congo. Same thing is in Cairo. Same thing in Tanzania. Very much so in my home country, in Zimbabwe. Corruption. Corruption makes people in the diaspora fear to invest. Because you can buy land today, and in 2 days' time, a government official can come and tell you, this land was not even for that person anymore, it's my land now, I'm selling it to someone else. That's corruption. Why can we not put a system in place that governs the land? If a farmer wants to sell their land because they cannot use it or utilize it fully, how can my granddad have 100 hectares of land and you're not allowed to sell it? Neither my granddad was to give it back to the government, so allow him to gain something for his medical and then formalize it that he has given his grandson a quarter, a tenth, a half of the land, and formalize that. Why are there always loopholes for people to come and take advantage? Why our system have loopholes? I think that's the biggest problem why diasporans would not want to invest back home. Scammers. Listen, Africa has become a do or die land. I'm speaking as African. We want to con someone by all means we can. If no one is saying it, I'm saying it. Africans have become thieves by natural, something which was never being in our forefathers or even our fathers' DNA. Now someone wants to take advantage of someone. That means we are birthing so many scammers. But this scamming issue, it comes from the top. Let me leave it there. Family misuse. There's so many families that are privileged to have a son, a daughter who has gone abroad, and the daughter is doing whatever she can to make sure the family lives well. She's also want the family to help her in her progression. That means she's also want you guys who are back home to help her develop something for herself. the day she returned, so the neighbors don't look her funny when she returns. But guess what? So many people in the diaspora build thin air houses. They've sent money back home to realize their house they were being shown as progression is a neighbor's house. There's no house, there's no stand, there's no car, there's no project, there's nothing. Family have been lying to this person through their teeth in exchange of just saving themselves his or her money for their personal gain. That goes to my last point, lack of trust. For some reason, brothers, we can't trust another brother anymore. I remember the time when I'm reading books in the histories where people used to go hunting, and the only person they'll rely on is another brother on their left side or right side. That's it. Trust was immense. But now, Jesus, we don't trust one another at all. I had a conversation with a gentleman from Nigeria here, which I'm also going to post. Please look that one up. You can tell from his teeth that trust is an issue. You can't even send your brother, your uncle, mom, your dad to do things for you back home because of the mindset of stealing even from your own. Oh, so let's challenge that mindset. Some people trust banks they've never met. You put money in your bank, you've never met the bank, but you trust the system, right? How the banking system works, apart from if you're from Zimbabwe. Because sometimes in Zimbabwe, when you put money in the bank, when you put 200, you might find it at 155, because the other 45 is being taken by bank charges. It's the only bank I know in the world that takes money backwards if you put your money in. I don't understand that. Don't even ask me. But it happens. It's there. I'm sure Zimbabweans can comment on that one. But don't trust their own people. We trust the banks, but we don't trust our own people. Let's not just trust. Let's work with them. If you have time, please go and work with your people. Go and be in the same place with them. Go and hold their hand and push them forward. We have come to diaspora not only for monetary gain, also for educational purposes. We have learned and understand the systems can only save the continent. We have to build the systems that works for African people. We can't clearly not go back to our old way of Africans, our forefathers. We cannot, because the world has evolved. But clearly, there's certain elements of the systems that we can build or we can avoid, i.e. corruption. I don't have to give you anything for me to get the government land, to get the government assistance. I have to give someone some money. Now, diasporans, what should you be start to do now? What should you be doing now? Let's look for a simple strategy as diasporans. I'm willing to partner with people to work through this. What should we be doing? Firstly, as an individual, create boundaries. Stop emotional spending. Emotional spending is when someone tells you, I'm broke today. You are broke too, and you go and help them and you forget you are also broke. The money you have is not enough. It won't feed you. Emotional spending. Let's fund. Let's create and build Africa. Fund. Even 50 to 100 pounds a month is enough to put in a pot that is called Africa Funding. Also, travel back home. If you've not been back home for a while, please stop defending Africa. Stop talking about Africa if you have not been home for the last 4 to 5 months. Do not. Those who've been in diaspora for more than 5 years, you've not been going back to your countries, I will not want to hear you discussing how deprived, how bad, how this is done for Africa, because you are saying it from no experience point of view. So what I know is Africa is developing. It's a slow development, but it is developing. And sometimes as Africans, like I said, we are also a flamboyant people. But let's try and go back to our roots. Start small. Buy small land. Start a poultry farm. Start a energy company, a solar company, agriculture. Buy property. Buy land. Buy private property. There's so many properties that are there that people who used to try to build and they failed because of financial strain. Go and take those ones. Go and take over. You from the diaspora, and I'm speaking to you and you. I'm talking to you. Go into your country right now and do something that will better our continent. Listen, some of you might wonder and ask you tonight, why are you saying all this? Why are you sitting here preaching to us, talking about to be investing back home? 2 years ago, I did this. I did the same thing. I take the faith of flip, went back to my home country. I'm from Zimbabwe, Rusape to be specific. And I can tell you right now, Rusape and the Zimbabweans, they'll tell you what I'm doing. I don't even need to tell you. Follow me, Madume Farm, if you can, or Tendai Madume. I've taken the faith to play. I was the one who was sending money every day, didn't have anything back home. But right now, as we speak, we are doing projects. We are doing piggery. We are doing fish farming. We are doing goat farming. We are doing cow farming. We are doing roadrunner farming, broiler farming, rabbits farming. It's all there on my TikTok page, Madume Farm. Go and check it out. I'm not saying things that I'm not doing, but I know in 5 years' time, those things are going to look after me. And when I decide I want to leave Europe, I want to leave and go back home, I hope, I guaranteed that I'll be living better in my 50s and 60s. I've spoken. This was the episode. One day, your job will end. One day, your energy will reduce. One day, your children will grow. The question will become, all these years abroad, what did you build? It's been a pleasure. Don't just send a man home, send a vision home, send structures home, send an investment home. We didn't leave Africa to abandon it. We left to position ourselves better, to build it better, to walk one day, if God allows, and say, I did well. Thank you very much. Have a good day. This was Rise With Us podcast. My name is Tendai Madume. Stay blessed. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.